My main goal with showing the work is just to jolt people out of their current reality, because most people know about the Dutch still life paintings, and a lot of people think that my photos are paintings until they see them in person, and then when they come up and they see the labels, it puts the labels in a different context.
Welcome to Chicago Arts. In this episode, we're talking with photographer Stephanie Dean, whose work focuses on food, health, and the traditional still life.
Painting always grounded me, so I would go back and look at my favorite paintings, no matter what medium I was stuck in, whether it was music or poetry or photography or whatever. I always went back and looked at my favorite paintings. Paintings always inspired me. So ran into the Dutch still lifes again. I was just looking at how lush they were, how beautiful they were. I came to the realization that if the painters who painted the original Dutch still life saw what we were buying and feeding ourselves and the pesticides and all that stuff, they painted it as it was today, it would be very different. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, oh, I should just do that as you know, I'll just do that for myself as my own project, you know, because it's going to be really beautiful. I feel like people are losing their distance they're gaining distance between the food that they eat and where it comes from, and that they don't know what they're eating. Like, from the point of where they don't know the name of it, or what goes into making it, or how to cook it, if it's good for you, that kind of stuff. Concerned about the loss of flavor due to genetic engineering. The stuff that I buy at the grocery store doesn't taste like the stuff that we used to grow in California, in my backyard. This apple I really like. It didn't have a label, but it had several impurities. There's a hole in it, something's growing out of it. It's probably been passed up by I don't know how many hands, but I'm not afraid to eat it. For a while I had a big challenge that was photographing the milk jug, the classic plastic gallon milk jug. That was the hardest thing for me to photograph. My relationship to food has changed in that I'm buying stuff that I would normally never eat or never buy sometimes. I try not to judge people on what they can buy and what they know to buy and what they can afford to buy. If everyone could afford to feed their family on organic, knowing it's the best, or if everyone could have the knowledge and the money to buy the best food and feed their family the best of the best, they probably would if they were good parents. You know, if everyone could do that, they would. But I don't want to make judgments on people based on what they choose to eat, right, and what they can eat, and what they do eat. And I like the fact that they are funny. I'm not afraid of humor. I love having humor in art. I think that there's a need for a lot more of it, especially if you're dealing with these kinds of issues, which I don't want to be didactic. I don't want to be too heavy-handed. But in humor, there's always truth. And I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just taking stuff and putting it in place and letting people draw their own conclusions. So if it's funny, I think that's a great reaction, and I think that people will remember it better than if it was just stagnant and boring. You know, I mean, if it was just beautiful, you might not remember it, even though it's beautiful.
See more of Stephanie's work at stephaniedean.com. All pertinent links can be found in the info section of this video. Thank you for watching Chicago Arts. Be sure to catch our next episode and stay informed by subscribing to our channel. We'd like to hear what you think, so please take a moment to comment on our programming. Do you know an artist we should interview? Suggest artists and vote on who you would like to know more about on our YouTube page through Google Moderator. Thank you again from Chicago Arts.